My favorite things to talk about. Facebook etiquette, what are you hitting on there?
I'll jump into that because I think that's, people don't realize that's like sitting in a busy restaurant and standing up and yelling, I'm cold
suicidal.
today.
Yeah, no, I'm going to suicide.
I feel awful.
Yeah.
This is the worst day ever. People would look at you and just be like, what's wrong with you?
Okay, that's a good point. People don't think of it like that.
Or look at my picture. Look at this picture of me. Everyone look.
I just saw one on someone who's on my Facebook account, and I saw one, and I thought, oh, are we making it a porn site? I mean, what are we doing here? And I even showed it to Ben. Of course, it was a hot girl, so he thought it was okay.
Well, that's fantastic. I mean, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I think that should be the only kind of photos that go on Facebook.
The one the mini skirt or mini dress?
Yeah, it was like a little pink nightie. Oh, well.
That sounds fantastic. Who is this?
Well, I'll tell you later.
I'm going to add
Do you remember the picture I showed you, the water park the other day? So I think it's kind of an extension of that.
Oh, well, that wasn't any good.
No, but that, I think, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah,
we're going to get that
you don't
started.
want to see that. That was a little strange.
I'm not on Facebook for a reason. I know you're on Facebook.
I'm on it strictly for business purposes.
Oh, yeah.
I got about 1,000 friends, so.
Yeah.
I can only take a few months of it, and I started to say some like subversive comments, and people were like, "What's wrong with you?" You know, I was like, I don't know, I'm just trying to make people think on here or something. And
oh yeah, they don't like that.
Oh no, they don't like deep
thinking. They're used to stupidity.
Yeah.
I just post. I like to share funny stuff, or I like to share links off of Slime Post.
Yeah.
So I embrace hey, I'm gonna help a bunch of friends, and then I'm like, am I going to share anything?
We're like the veteran internet people, though. You know,
you
we
guys
up with
kind
it.
of are. Yeah.
We know the etiquette, but then you have the younger crowd that's like them puking in the toilet after a party or something.
Yeah, and that's just super cool. You know, it's like the Bethany golf deal. I mean, that was essentially why they got in trouble. It wasn't that they took the picture; it's that they shared it on Facebook and they put it. If you want to talk about that, that's another deal.
In fact, I had that on my list to talk about, and I didn't write it on my notes. But let's get back, and we'll have plenty to talk about.
Let me get this thing.
We have 8 minutes.
Nine. Go ahead and start whenever you want.
We're back, and this is Joan with the Joan Yurkovich Show. We're here with our web director, Matt Moody, Eagle Radio, and wanted to make sure that you stay online because we're going to have another fantasy gamer talking right after Matt, which is interesting in its own right, and talking some more about internet. But Matt wanted to talk about internet etiquette, so I'm going to let you jump right into that. Go for it.
Oh, I just wanted to jump in and just throw out some little Facebook etiquette because Facebook has become it's like Jerry Springer. I spend more time on Twitter. I think it's more informative, and I use it more for news and information.
But more people are on Facebook than Twitter.
Oh yeah, there's 750 million people are on Facebook right now. It's just an amazing
and growing.
Number. Yeah, and growing. I think that's leveling off a little bit because before long, when you have everyone on there, you're going to run out of people to grow with. But yeah, no, Facebook. I just think it's funny, some of the things that people do on Facebook.
Well, we talked a little bit at the break about what about the Bethany golf team, that posted, they had the picture go up where they took the picture, the team picture where all they were holding were their clubs.
Yeah, and
I heard someone say, who was the guy holding the putter? Probably none of them.
I thought that was pretty funny, frankly.
Yeah, I thought it was great. I want to blow up.
Yeah, it's one of those things, I mean, if they wouldn't have made a big deal about it, then it wouldn't have been passed around to everybody, but essentially they got in trouble not for taking the picture but for posting it on Facebook and using the college's name.
Using the college name.
And so that's essentially what they got in trouble for. If they wouldn't have put it on Facebook, they would have never got in trouble.
Although, they are a Christian school, and who knows, because they do have some standards. But yeah. I think identifying who they were and what school they were from, certainly didn't help any.
That was essentially in the punishment. That was what it stated, was using the college's name.
Exactly.
Like that.
And what about people posting party pictures,
Well,
and things like that that employers can look at?
Facebook's pretty good about deleting anything that's a little too racy, and you do it more than once, and they're just gonna delete you.
So they'll and they have a right to do that. They can just ban you forever from it.
Yep, absolutely. And, I mean, a lot of like we were talking during the break, I think it's a lot of younger people that just grew up with Facebook being there, and they don't realize that. I don't know. I think there's adults too. I have friends that are on Facebook that post the dumbest things ever. You know, it's like being in a crowded restaurant.
More mundane or
yeah, it's like being in a crowded restaurant and yelling, "Here's a picture of me. Everyone look." And then right after that saying, "Oh, this is the worst day of ever. This is the worst day of my life. Somebody please keep thinking of me." And I'm like, really? Or the even better one.
What does that really get to you? That really
it just annoys me. I think it just annoys me. I find it, even though I find it strangely amusing and I laugh about it. But you know, it's
where's your sense of empathy? Maybe that person's hurting or really in a bad place.
I'd say call a counselor. You know, because a lot of the people that are going to answer you, they just said that same thing 9 hours ago. So you really need. I mean, it's just more of a misery loves company.
Yeah, pity party.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Right.
Or there's the you know, oh, 3 years ago my cat died. Fluffy, I'm thinking of you. And it's like, you know,
celebrating your anniversary.
It's Fluffy on Facebook. I'm pretty sure Fluffy's not on Facebook. And everybody knows that
They're
no
just
Facebook
wanting everybody to know. Yeah.
There's no Facebook in heaven. They only have Google Plus there.
Okay. And certainly not Internet Explorer.
Yeah, no, that's certainly only in hell.
Yeah, that's in hell. That's a hellish place to be. So, but you know, we were talking about this. You know, what about these people that go on Facebook and talk about, you know, I'm so depressed and I'm so this and that. Is there a place for a cry for help there? No, not at all.
I don't think so. I think it's the wrong place to go.
So you're into the sexuality part of it. You know, we were talking at break. These people need to go to the web to the video outtakes, and I said, yeah, I didn't think that was appropriate. A girl in her little skimpy nightgown, and like, I'm all for that.
Oh, I think that's what Facebook was made for. I mean, if you watch The Social Network, that's pretty much what started it.
Was all the sexual kind of sharing of pictures.
The first thing that Mark Zuckerberg made was the face mash, where they lined up. I mean, that was what preceded Facebook. They made Face Mash, where he hacked in and took all the photos from all of the girls at Harvard and made a program where everybody, whenever you went there, then two new photos would pop up and you voted for which one was hotter.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
That's essentially what started Facebook.
Right. And, you know, the hotter girl. Is there anything like that going on anymore? I mean, can we revive that? Or did he get in trouble for that?
No, he got in trouble for that.
Only because it was Harvard pictures.
Yeah, basically for hacking their system, which
right.
I guess, you know, if you believe the movie The Social Network, then he got, you know, his responsible as well. You should be happy that I showed you where the holes were in your security, but...
Exactly. Well, yeah, he did him a favor, didn't he? And he made billions of dollars in the process.
Yes, he did, yes.
Do you have any things you want to say as we kind of get to the end of our interview about blogging etiquette or comments?
I think it's all just about. I think it just goes into virtually the same kind of thing for all websites. Whenever you're going to post something, just if you think about it and the fact that somebody somewhere knows that's you.
Right,
so,
and they become. I read a comment when I was reading about blogging etiquette. People just kind of become inordinately courageous when they're sitting behind a computer screen, and they feel so anonymous. Duh.
Yeah, and there's both. I mean, that's the eternal argument over the internet: is should it be anonymous or should you have an identity? And I'm split. I mean, I see the benefits to, you know, everyone having their identity on there. But I think there's a lot of
so having their real identity instead of a code name or whatever.
I see the benefits in that, even though I tend to lean more towards the anonymous. It'd just be nice if people stop acting like idiots when they're anonymous. You know, I think there's a lot of benefits to being anonymous. You can share thoughts that you may not necessarily feel comfortable with sharing, but they may be creative thoughts that may, you know, they may be productive in a sense. And they may be something you're just shy or ashamed. You know, I think a lot of shy people have been able to do better in life because of the ability to be anonymous and, you know, and take chances and take risks doing certain things that are very creative. And they normally wouldn't be able to do that if they had to be, you know, if their name was attached to it, or they may be too scared to try things.
So in some ways, that whole social networking, which to me is a misnomer a little bit, because I see it being social, but the anonymity kind of kills it for me. But you're saying they are kind of maybe learning some social skills on some of this. Particularly a really shy person may get more comfortable in conversation, even though it's internet and typing and.
Absolutely. And I think that, there's a lot of creativity. There's a lot of different web programs that were made by people. And I mean, in a sense, Facebook, by most research, even though there's not anything that says it's just entirely accurate, but you know, the guy who started it, Mark Zuckerberg, he wasn't a very social guy, and the internet gave him a place to be social. You know, he had the ability to connect with people, and I think it turned out okay for him.
No kidding. Lots of people would trade places with him at this point. So. Well, Matt, you've had a lot of good things to talk to us about today, and sorry we're going to have to put a close to our interview, but again, stay on board for the fantasy gaming. Talk about some social stigmas relative to that, and some shy people and nerdy people, as our next guest will talk about, coming on board with that. But this is Joan on 910 KINA with the Joan Yurkovich Show. Ben, I had 9 minutes on this, and I stopped at 8:22. Did you see me going over?
8:20.
My
8:22 is where you were at.
Okay, I thought you were showing me we were done. Okay.
That was like 30 seconds. How do you sign?
Oh, I gotcha. Yeah. Well, anyway, I've reluctantly gone on Facebook, as you know. You've heard me complaining about that. And I'm driving friends that I don't even know. It's all because of the show. And then I've got to get them to come back over to. They're on my personal right now, which has no information on it. But then I want them to come over to my actual show site.
It's a really beautiful system for marketing.
Right.
There's just so many people that don't get it. I mean, that's essentially why we had such a great opportunity with all of the post sites. You know, Solana's, Hayes, Great Bend, is that a lot of people don't realize, or they don't know, or they don't want to take the time to learn something new. But I mean, it's just
So you think
it's
Facebook's been a big part of driving the post, like Hayes Post, Solana Post, all of those websites?
Not even probably. It's absolutely the
Or seriously?
Absolutely. Wow. There's no doubt about it. It is the main reason. It's the main reason why we have more Facebook fans than any other media around.
So what did you do different than other companies who've tried to? You know, isn't every company pretty much on Facebook? What'd you do to drive?
Yeah, but there's keys to doing it right. Okay. There's keys to doing it right.
You want to tell us your secrets?
Well, I think it's just a matter of figuring out your business and seeing how people connect with you. You know, when I had the soft drink business, we didn't use it very much because I felt like we were going to be blasting people with spam because we didn't have anything important to say. And when we had events, then we did it, and it worked well. And there's the same kind of thing. I think every business is a little different. You know, when you're
because this is a news media, so it's always current, fresh.
I mean, that's like that'd be a comparison of if you have a big giant room and there's a bunch of people in there, and you have news. It'd be like, oh, we'll just wait for him to come out. Why would you do that? Why wouldn't you just bring it into the... Why wouldn't you walk in and say, hey, I have news?
Exactly. Yeah. They're all kind of sitting there looking for it. They're waiting for it. They're watching it.
Yeah, and if everybody else wants to hang out and not use that, then I'll go in and tell everybody about it.
Absolutely.
I'm going to do it anonymously. But
yeah. We know you're completely anonymous.
Yeah, I don't want to be the guy that runs.
Are you really... Is your name really Matt, or did you come in here anonymously?
Yeah, no, my name is admin across the sites.
Admin?
I'm admin. I mean, I don't write anything on there, so it's all...
you just pull it in. And
I'm just pulling in information and placing it.
And from the times I see you posting, you work 24/7, I guess?
Yes, pretty much.
Yeah. Are you just like on your computer?
Yes, I love it.
How many hours a day are you on your computer?
I don't know. I think
because this is like a perfect job for you.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, web director.
I work well over 80 hours a week. Then I'm on the computer.
Because you're not only here at the office, you're at our satellite places. You're at home. I know you're at home sometimes.
Yep.
Working. So.
Yeah, and on the road.
And so are you addicted?
Absolutely. I think my girlfriend would say, yes, you're very addicted and you need to stay away from the computer.
Here we go. Trouble already in the home front.
Yeah, she's doing better though.
How do you combat the eye strain? I get eye strain sometimes.
I don't get that at all.
Like pressure on the tongue?
Like, I don't get that at all. I don't know what it is.
Do you wear glasses? You don't wear glasses.
Okay, it's just that you've got probably that kind of vision.
Just got bad eyes.
Yeah. Well, are you on a Mac?
Are you on a PC? PCs, Macs.
I think if you're on a PC, it automatically hurts your eyes. I think anytime you use Microsoft products, it hurts your eyes.
Whatever.
Microsoft's going to hell too, as far as you're concerned. PCs.
That's absolutely
You two are both Mac guys, because I know he's trying to talk me into my laptops going down on